The best thing that you can do if you want to manifest for somebody else is to learn how to become an amazing manifester yourself and to lead by example and to model it for them. Well, hey there, prosperity seeker. Welcome to another episode of The Prosperity Approach. I'm Allyson Chavez, your host, and thrilled and honored that you've joined me today. We're going to answer the burning question, can you manifest for someone else today? Go ahead and go on over to AllysonChavez.com to see the new things that we're up to, all of the different free resources and meditations and activities and techniques that we've got over there for you for free to help you get to your next level of success without any struggle. So the age-old question, I don't know if it's really the age-old question, but it's certainly one that's been asked more than once, is can you manifest for somebody else? And my question, I'm going to answer that question with a question. And my question is, well, why would you want to? Why would you want to manifest for somebody else? And usually I get this from well-meaning wives whose husbands are grumpy or whose husbands think that what they're doing is woo-woo or weird or doesn't work or is a waste of time or is impractical or, the list of adjectives goes on and on and on about why this isn't valuable. And again, I love husbands, I love spouses, I love men, but typically I ran up against that with my own spouse, who I absolutely adore and treasure. And so I have found that a lot of well-meaning wives are asking, can I manifest for my husband so that he'll believe in this stuff? Is generally like the underlying feeling that I get. And when they're actually honest with me and they admit it, that's really what's going on. Is it and it's well-meaning for sure. It's because they love them. It's because they want their husband to see possibilities. They want them to see a bigger picture. They want them to know that they're not all alone and they don't have to be stressed out and all of the things. But what it turns into actually is a manipulation tactic. And I don't subscribe to manipulation tactics. Now, having said that, can you manifest for somebody else? To a certain degree, yes, you can. There's great, great power in visualization. There are things that are happening energetically. There are things that are happening in consciousness of your own and somebody else's when you continually visualize and get emotional about a result that you would like to see on behalf of somebody else. I have heard of that kind of manifesting working for someone. For example, if you have a child who has a hard time in school and is bringing home really dismal grades and isn't showing up and isn't living up to their potential, like pretty much every 15-year-old boy on the planet. Anyway, I love 15-year-old boys as well. But like you're tracking with me, right? Like they're just not living up to their potential and everything's a drag and they don't want to do it. I have heard of people that have spent time in visualization where they're visualizing their child coming home and saying, check out my grades, all A's, check out my grades, all A's, and celebrating with them and how it feels and what it looks like and the grin on their face and the big hug around their shoulders and all of that. It takes a great deal of, I'm not going to say a great deal of time, but it takes time, it takes effort. You got to do this a lot of times. And ultimately, even visualizing or sending good thoughts or prayers or any kind of proxy or distance work energy wise, if you're familiar with any of that, it will never trump free will. It never trumps free will. So trying to manifest on behalf of somebody else who does not necessarily want that result that you know would be so wonderful for them will not ever trump their free will. And it shouldn't. I mean, my goodness, we have people that definitely have other people's best interests in heart when they want to manifest for them. And there are a lot of people on this planet who do not have other people's best interests at heart who would want to manifest for them. Have you ever been really, really upset? Like when you were, I don't know, a 17-year-old girl or a 12-year-old girl and you had a fight with your best friend and you wish that she was dead, or you wish that you were dead? You want to manifest that for somebody else, their death? Okay, but there are some people who do. And so it's really important that we stay in our own lane instead of trying to get into somebody else's lane, because it very quickly swerves into manipulation and control that is none of our business and that we don't have any way in somebody else's life, whether it's in their best interest or not. Let me tell it another way. Has anybody ever tried to get you into a good mood when you're in a bad mood and you don't feel like getting into a good mood? Are their efforts appreciated? No. Are their efforts received? No. In fact, you get more annoyed and you get into like the yeah, but, or the leave me alone, or like any of that. It's not appreciated. It's not well received. If it's received at all. And here's the big kicker. It isn't until you decide that you want to get into a better mood that any of the things that the other person is doing to try to help you into a better mood makes any sort of a difference for good. Same thing kind of for manifesting. The best thing that you can do if you want to manifest for somebody else is to learn how to become an amazing manifester yourself and to lead by example and to model it for them. And when they see how much fuller your life is, how much more settled and peaceful and joyful you are, how much happier you are than them, not because you're like, you really should learn how to do it my way, because my way is obviously, clearly so much better and more productive than yours. I mean, who wants to ever hear that? Like, that's gross. But they see you. They see you in this really, really beautiful energy. And because we are all wired for higher vibrations, we are all naturally, divinely wired by God to want to be happy, to want to feel fulfilled, to want to expand. We live in a universe of expansion, and you will always be called upon to expand. And so focus on your own expansion and then model that. Be an example. Don't make them wrong for them not wanting to expand or manifest in the same way you do, but don't make yourself wrong or hold yourself back for that either, because your spouse or your kids or your best friends are mocking you a little bit for it. Nobody has to be wrong. Nobody has to be wrong in that, but stay in your own lane with manifesting. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, I want your opinion. I want your voice. I want your vote. What other topics would you like me to talk about on this podcast? Comment below. And if you do, and I pick your topic, I'll give you a shout out during that episode that this was your suggestion. So stay in your own lane. Be more concerned about your own consciousness, about the thoughts and the feelings that are dominant in your mind and in your body, and work to up-level those. Everybody's intrigued by manifesting. I actually like to go a step above manifesting and go to co-creation. Co-creation has a much more proactive role in it than manifesting. Manifesting seems to take a more passive role in the creation process. Manifesting is a lot of fun, but most people are like, I don't really know what I did to manifest that. I know how to manifest close parking spaces, but I don't really know how to manifest things that actually make a difference in my life. And it's when you go beyond manifesting and you start learning your part and you start doing your part and only your part that you get beyond manifesting and get into co-creating. And that is so spectacular and such an incredible experience. It's actually one of the things that we do. It's what I teach in my clients to do in my Rise Up mentoring program, in my Ascend mentoring program. But it's what we spend time in our free online workshops doing. So if you haven't gotten into the prosperity experience, Success Without Struggle, register for it. We're doing them on the regular about every other month or so. And so you can get yourself ready for the next one. You can go to prosperityapproach.com/challenge and register for that. And we'll teach you all of the different pieces that go into co-creating the life that you desire. If you've liked this topic, and you've got some other topics that you would like me to cover in the Prosperity Approach podcast, let me know. Email us over at clientcare@allysonchavez.com and put down a topic that you'd like me to cover on this podcast. If we pick your name, I'll even give you a shout out and credit for your idea for the topic that I cover on the podcast. So remember to stay in your own manifesting lane and work on your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own vibrations, and let other people have their journey as well. The best way to help somebody manifest is to model successful manifesting yourself. And until next time, remember, you beautiful prosperity seeker, prosperity becomes you.